This is IDW's comic called Memorial. I got this at around 2011. The trade paperback has been out for a while. It's a collection of the first 6 issues. There is a continuation of the story in a 3-part miniseries. I don't think I've seen that in a collected edition, not yet anyway. I'll try not to give away too much, but just in case you do want to read it, treat all of what I have to say as spoilers. The story starts in a modern setting, and the main character has missing memories. For example, she doesn't know her name and where she comes from. There aren't any records or information about her existence. The only clue is a necklace with the letter M, and this became her new name. M happens to find a quaint store filled with all sorts of things that people don't normally buy. It's almost like a museum with objects from all around the world cramped into a small space. From there, M's adventure begins. It's a fantasy story, so there is a magic door, talking cat, strange locales such as kingdoms and mystical lands, characters from various time periods, fictions, legends, and myths. It seems to be a mixture of the creator's imagination and things that might or do exist in actual laws. The settings that serve the story include the land of Maybe or the Forecastle, the Everglade, and the Memory Palace. I like the ideas behind them. The land of Maybe is a place where things could happen or yet to happen. Everything that has ever been dreamt of or imagined exists in it. The Everglade is a land of eternity where the ruler moment is collecting certain, moments across human history and magically putting them in one place. There are buildings and people, including those that existed in folklores and legends, existing side by side. The Memory Palace is the land of was. You can probably guess what that is. There is another place that is called the Fortress of Grimstone at Darkness Falls, where the King and Queen of Shadows lived. I'm not sure how it fits with those 3 other places. The story is about M's relationship to the 3 lands. Part of it is also about why the ruler is collecting the various time periods. There is a conflict between all of them, and M is trying to figure out why there are all sorts of strange characters chasing after her. What I like about M is that she wasn't set up as a completely helpless romantic damsel in distress type, even if she and her group were saved a couple times by other characters. As far as the story goes, the ones that saved her aren't her potential romantic partners. It might be more accurate to say that the story was not set up with the intention of M getting into a romantic relationship. If you've ever read any Jasper Fford's Thursday Next novels, Memorial sort of remind me of them, but in a comic book form. I can't help but feel that this could have been a novel or maybe a series of novels. Although not completely unusual in comics, it even has these little descriptive literary narratives like a book, but scattered around the comic. I could even see this as an adventure game, like something that Sierra and Roberta Williams might have come up with back in the days. Or maybe something like Longest Journey. It just seems like there was a lot more that wasn't shown, or there could have been more to the ideas, but it might have been due to time or budget constraints, causing things to appear a bit packed in or rushed. The other thing is that these 6 parts feel like a prologue or introduction, if that's the right way of describing it. It's an entry into the world, an introduction to the characters. There is the story of the main character, her lost memories, and how the story world connects to what happened in the past, and the motivation of the antagonist, which I thought was something a little different and quite interesting. I don't want to give away too much about that one. Even the following 3-part story is but a portion of something bigger, rather than resolving what was initially introduced. I would guess that it's a way to stretch the stories out across several mini-issues, but I haven't seen any newer stories coming out. I'm hoping they will continue with it. If you're the type that want a standalone story in the mini-series with everything tied up in the end, this may not be something you want to get into. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you.